Take a ride down memory lane, where the chrome still shines and the gears remain. From Morris Minors to Mondeos, those wheels of the past. We had one of those, oh yes we did. From Sunday drive to trips as kids. Hop right in, relive the glow, touch the past. We had one of those. We had one of those. We had one of those. We had one of those.
Welcome to the National Motor Museum. Yes, we're at Beaulieu, and I'm going to reintroduce you to 10 wonderful old friends, and I'm pretty sure you won't have seen them for a long, long time.
We had one of those.
Let's rediscover the wonderful Morris Minor, also known as the Moggy Minor. And I know what you're thinking. My mum used to drive us to school in one of these. My dad used to have one of these. Well, my granddad had 3 of these, and he even had it in this colour. And I can still, to this day, remember the registration number, YDL70. And that would probably be worth a little bit of money these days. The one they called the Moggy Minor. This is not a sexy car, is it? This is not rock and roll.
The Moggy Minor, the much loved Moggy Minor, and everybody will have a story about them. It was the Morris Motor Company's, world car, and at the end of the 1940s, the car that they were going to export, and the time when it was export or die for British industry. So the Morris Minor came out as a modern, for the 1940s, styled car, which they could hit the export market for, and as a family car, essentially.
Yeah, cheap, cheerful, very economical to run, but it's not luxurious, is it? I mean, it was very, very basic.
It is very basic, but most cars of that period were, although when you look around, actually, there's not a bad amount of legroom in the back as a family car, as a 4-door car. And remember, this was also available with different body styles. So this is the 4-door saloon. There was a 2-door saloon with tip-in front seats. You could get the convertible. There was a van.
And
there
the
was
Traveller,
the pickup,
the Woody.
and of course the Traveller, the wooden body
Which is
Morris
probably
Traveller.
everybody's favourite, isn't it, the Woody?
Nowadays, it's definitely, I think, the most desirable Morris Minor. And it's the one which fetches the highest prices on the second-hand market, the collector car market, yes.
I can't believe that this car, I mean, it had a few facelifts, minor facelifts over the years, but this actual one we're sat in now, this shape was still in production in the early 70s.
1970, 71, they stopped making them, so they've been in production from 1948. There was a bit of a facelift in the early 1950s, the headlights moved up at the front, but essentially it's the same styling, it's 1940 styling. Maybe that was a problem with the British motor industry, that they kept the same models going just a little bit too long, trying to spin out, get the maximum benefit from the tooling. But they were certainly still selling well at the early 1970s.
Which surprises me, because by then they really did look like the old man on the block, didn't they?
I mean, they should have been replaced. Certainly in the early 1960s, it's a model that should have been phased out, but they kept bashing them out. And even, it was replaced by the Marina, the much maligned Morris Marina. But actually, when you look underneath the Morris Marina, the running gear, the suspension, it's basically the same, mechanically, almost identical.
Yeah. You're never going to get confused with this dash, are you? I mean, you've got the big clock, and then you've got a choke, and you've got lights, and then...
Yeah. And there's nothing to tell you which switch does what. Of course, you've got to work that out for yourself.
It has got a C there.
That's right,
but it's worn out. So you've got a C for the choke.
Right.
What's this? That's probably the windscreen.
That's windscreen washer. Yeah.
So you've got washer, choke, lights,
and electric wipers. That's your lot. And of course the heater, a rudimentary heater down here. Which you've got to wait. You're going to have to wait for the engine to warm up, really
warm up. You would have been at
before
your destination.
Absolutely.
By the time you got warm. Yeah. I mean, lovely to see. It still smells like it should have done all those years ago. But as I said to you at the beginning of the conversation, it's not sexy, is it? This is the car the vicar would have driven.
The vicar or the district nurse.
District nurse, vicar. And funnily enough, it was a police car.
It was indeed,
Which
yeah.
I don't get, because any bank robber worth his salt would have had a 3-litre Mark II Jag. You're not
yeah,
going to catch him in this, are you?
This is your area car. This is your Panda car, isn't it? The original Panda cars. These in the white and the blue livery, with your local Bobby driving around in this. I don't know if he could get his helmet on inside.
Probably not. We are going to ramp up the Englishness switch to maximum. Look at this, a lovely Morris Minor. Oh, it doesn't get more English in the car world than the Morris Minor. This car was launched in 1948, and in October of that year, it was the pride of the Earl's Court Motor Show, and it stayed in production to 1971, unbelievably. And just about everybody had one. The AA would drive these. There was a good advert for them in bright yellow. The post office had them in red. The GPO had them in green. And of course it was the star of an episode of Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. The nurse, was it Nurse Gladys in Open All Hours? She had one of these as well. I think even Juliet Bravo drove a police version of this in the early series of Juliet Bravo. They're just decent and honest and reliable, and apparently very, very easy to repair.
Rolling down the country lane, chrome is shining, dodging rain. Little hum from the engine's purr, 50s charm, that's what we were. Oh, Morris Minor, take me back to winding roads and luggage racks. 1,000 smiles in every mile. You've still got that classic style.
It's much nicer to drive than I thought it was going to be. And I've not been in a Morris Minor probably since the early 1970s.
Oh, Morris Minor, take me back to winding roads and seaside tracks. With every turn you make me grin, a timeless joy beneath my skin.
The cars in the exhibition are all 100% genuine, original cars. They haven't been modified, they haven't been brought up to date, they are as they were built. So you're getting that Morris Minor, and there's no radio because you didn't get a radio unless you paid extra in the 1960s. The cars in this exhibition are really run-of-the-mill cars that maybe your mum had, your dad had, the sort of car that took you to school, maybe brought your baby sister home from hospital when she was born, the sort of things that your nana and grandpa would have had. Certainly my family had cars that are in there, the Hillmans and the Fords that are in that exhibition. And so they're really sort of accessible to people, that they touch into their lives and those moments in their lives when a car played a really important part. And I think that's what gives them an emotional connection for people.
Yo, we had one of those